Do you want her to think about you constantly, to crave your presence, even when she's not interested right now? You won't believe how easy it is to get under her skin and make her miss you like crazy. All right, let's get into the heart of this video and dive deeper into each of these strategies that will make any woman miss you badly, even if she's not showing interest right now. And believe me, once you understand how these principles work, you'll see why they're so effective and why they're designed to make her not only notice your absence, but to crave your presence. Let's break them down one by one with the depth and nuance that'll take your game to the next level. Disappear to be desired. The first and probably most important point is to disappear to be desired. This concept is rooted in basic human psychology, but it's especially potent when it comes to relationships. If you're always available, always texting, always trying to make plans, you're giving her no room to miss you. Think about it. How can she long for something that's always right in front of her? People naturally want what they feel they can't have. When you take a step back and stop initiating contact, you create that sense of scarcity, and scarcity breeds desire. Imagine this. She's used to seeing your messages pop up daily. She's accustomed to your presence. Suddenly, you go silent. No more late-night texts, no more likes on her posts, no more "how's your day going?" That space you create, that's golden. It's in that silence where her mind starts to wander. Why hasn't he messaged me? What's he up to? And you better believe, the longer she doesn't hear from you, the more intense that curiosity will become. The key here is to remain patient. You might feel the urge to reach out and break the silence, but you must resist. Let her feel your absence. Think of it like a fine wine. It needs time to age to reach its peak flavor. The same goes for emotional connection. Without time apart, she won't have the chance to reflect on how much she enjoyed your company or how much she valued your attention. So, by simply stepping back, you're giving her the opportunity to realize what she's missing. Now, a crucial part of this step is not just the absence itself, but how you disappear. You don't want to vanish in a way that comes across as playing games or being immature. It should feel effortless, like you're naturally busy living your life. Which brings us perfectly to our next point. Show her you're living your best life. When she starts missing you, the first thing she's going to do is check your social media. It's the fastest way for her to get a glimpse into your life without actually having to reach out. And that's where you need to be strategic. You see, social media is your silent communication tool here. It's your way to send her subtle but powerful messages without ever having to say a word. What do you want her to see? She needs to see that you're living your best life without her. Now, this doesn't mean you post every single little thing you do. You're not here to flood her timeline or come across as someone who's desperate for attention. What you're aiming for is quality, not quantity. A few well-placed posts are far more effective than constant updates. Think about posting a picture of you out with friends, having a good time, or maybe even accomplishing something at work or in your personal life. Maybe you're out hiking, maybe you're at a cool restaurant, or maybe you're just smiling and looking your best. The point is, these are small glimpses into your life that make her realize, wow, he's really thriving without me. And here's the secret, you don't need to be boastful. Women are turned off by guys who are overtly cocky. It's about balance. Show that you're enjoying life in a subtle, authentic way, and let her be the one who feels left out. Social media is often used to fill in the gaps of our imagination, and when she doesn't know exactly what you're doing but sees just enough to know you're having fun, she'll start to feel that fear of missing out creeping in. Don't fall for the attention bait. Now, when she starts to miss you, don't be surprised if she tries to get your attention. This is what we call the attention bait. She'll post that perfect selfie, maybe even with a little caption that feels suspiciously like it's directed at you. Or maybe she'll throw up a story of herself having fun, looking amazing, with the hope that you'll react. But here's the critical thing. You need to ignore it. Do not fall into the trap of liking her picture or responding to her story. Why? Because the moment you do, you give her validation. You're telling her, yes, I'm still watching you, I still care, and the power shifts back to her. You've been working hard to create that space, that mystery, that sense of her missing you. Don't undo all of that by giving in to the first trap she sets. What you want to do is remain calm and detached. She'll notice that your like isn't among the others. She'll check and see that you haven't commented, and that will drive her absolutely insane. Remember, we want to keep her in that space of wondering, that space of craving your attention without actually getting it. The longer you hold out, the more intense her emotions will become. Now, that doesn't mean you ignore her forever, but it does mean you let her sweat it out for a while. Let her stew in that feeling of wondering why you haven't taken the bait. She'll start to question herself. Did he see it? Does he care anymore? Is he over me? And that's exactly what you want. Be mysterious when she reaches out. Eventually, she's going to cave. She'll reach out in some way, whether it's a simple, "Hey, how have you been?" or a more direct message asking why you've been distant. When this happens, it's crucial that you remain calm and collected. Don't be too eager to respond, and when you do, keep your replies short, vague, and polite. For example, if she asks how you've been, instead of launching into a detailed explanation of everything you've been up to, keep it simple. Say something like, "I've been good, just staying busy." That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. The idea here is to keep her guessing. Don't give her too much information, because the more you give, the less mysterious you become. The beauty of being vague is that it forces her to fill in the blanks. She'll start imagining what you've been doing, who you've been seeing, and where your mind has been. And the less she knows, the more she'll want to know. This keeps her hooked, keeps her engaged, and keeps her thinking about you even after the conversation ends. Remember, women are drawn to mystery. They don't want someone who lays all their cards on the table. They want someone who leaves them wanting more, someone who makes them work a little to figure out what's going on in their head. And that's exactly what you're doing by keeping your responses cool, calm, and vague. Create jealousy, but be subtle about it. Let's talk about jealousy. Jealousy, when used correctly, is a powerful tool to make her miss you badly. Now, I'm not saying you should go out and start dating someone else just to make her jealous. That's too obvious, and it often backfires. Instead, what you want to do is imply that there are other women in your life without ever saying it outright. For example, you could post a picture of you hanging out with friends, and there just happens to be a woman in the group. Maybe she's a friend, maybe not. But the important thing is that your ex or the girl you're interested in will see that picture and immediately start wondering, who is she? Is he dating her? Her imagination will do the rest of the work for you. You could also tag a female friend in a post or mention a casual interaction with another woman when you're talking to her. You don't need to overplay this. Just a subtle mention or a single picture is enough to plant the seed of jealousy in her mind. The point is to show her that you have options, that other women are interested in you, and that she's not the only one who could have your attention. Jealousy works because it triggers a deep emotional response. When a woman sees that you might be moving on or that another woman is showing interest in you, it stirs up feelings of competition. Suddenly, she realizes that she might lose you to someone else, and that fear is often enough to make her want you back, even if she wasn't interested before.